So in regards to the essay presentation, when it comes to my major, which is astrophysics, philosophy plays a major role, especially in its early histories, where people would just go outside and look up in the night sky and see all these things happening, whether or not be comets, shooting stars, supernovas if they got lucky, planets on occasion, and under the right circumstances, eclipses, solar, lunar, bringing about these bad omens, and all these things that happen lead them or cause them to ask these questions, whether or not be, why are these things happening? How are these things happening? Whether or not there's more out there, or are they alone in the universe? Is everything revolving around them? Do they have free will? If there's a God, whether or not there is a God. And back then, they weren't allowed to have certain conversations about these topics because during the Dark Ages, which is where astronomy was first, picking up in its early history, the church had a heavy foothold on everything. If it's not religious, don't even say anything about it. Don't even have that view, because if they may well, burn you, throw you in jail, shun you, kick you out of the church if you were a priest. If you didn't have their views, they wouldn't even allow people to discuss these things in public, and unless you get caught, and then those bad things will happen to you. And this is all coming from their view of geocentrism, where they believe that the Earth is at the center of the universe. That they do believe that there is a God, that they are special, that everything revolves around them. He created everything. That there is a higher power, right? And if you challenge that, then it's a done deal. And this is all coming from a Christian, right? I'm a Christian. I do believe in God. I do believe that we have free will. I do believe that He created everything. I do believe that we are special as humans. And that doesn't change my love for science, my view on science. And my view on science does not change my love for my religion, and what I do in my everyday life. And if you ask 9 times out of 10, other people in the field of astrophysics, they aren't Christian. They're going to say atheist for the most part, because of it's a heavily scientific field that, facts over what you feel, or facts over belief, facts over faith. And these do cause them to have these discussions about these topics with fellow scientists in the field. And this is if anything, I find it as a perfect opportunity to use my dual love, right, for religion and science, right? If anything, it's gives me better insight on these topics, a different viewpoint to looking at everything, because I don't believe in the geocentric model. And if we go back, it was debunked by the Copernican model, Copernicus, who was a priest of the church who got kicked out because of his views. And the Copernican model is the model where we are not the center of the universe. If anything, we are just a small wheel, a small cog in this machine of everything that's happening or going on. The moon revolves around the earth revolves around the sun revolves around the center of the universe, the center of the galaxy, and the galaxy just floats around in the local group. And then the local group is within the supercluster of galaxies. And superclusters, local groups, those larger scale measurements are just floating around the universe as one big potluck of everything that's just floating around up there. And that brings me to the point today, because these conversations are still being held, since we don't have a religious government, or religious power dictating whatever we can talk about, because these conversations are being held, these conversations are being discussed, they are being mentioned, that they are having an effect on our our science, astronomy, astrophysics, anything relating to that, relating to space, where people have the view of the Big Bang Theory, or whatever other theory that they use to try and debunk the the Bible. But ultimately it comes down to philosophy is part of the root, because even though it's not necessarily a science, it has a major role. It helped push certain things in the field, help people have certain conversations that allow them to perform these tests that help them make these discoveries. And this is something that I pursue in the future as a astrophysics major or astronomy major. And that's something I actually want to, present to you. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great one.